What's up, guys? How are you doing? Today's episode we are going to talk about strings in Python. So today's episode we are going to talk about index. So what is indexes or indexed, and some examples about indexed and how to use it in Python. So for example, let's say if we have not this actually. So let's go to this. So let's say for example if we have a new, I think, open and then string, and then what we get is this. So what we mean when we talk about indexed. So what is indexed? String can be indexed or with first character having indexed 0. So indexed is a concept that we use it to get or to access to our data, so we can perform it at different operations by just indexing our data. So if we want, for example, to access to a particular item or character or on the list or on the string, so what we do, for example, let's say if we have, for example, Python. So Python is a string, so it's a string. So the first thing, if we want to index it, so what is indexed? If we want to get P, if we want to get this character, what are we gonna do? We're gonna call this character by index it. We can access to this item or to this character by call it using indexed concepts. So it's really simple. Let's say with the first character having index 0. So keep in your mind the first character, which is this, having index 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. It's really important. So that's why when we go into, for example, to our, go in here, so Python. So when I ask you a question, how to, or what is the length of this word? So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So it's 6. It's 6. Let's check. Print len. So len is a function that we use it to get the length of, or the length of string or any item, or the length of characters that we have on the list or on the string. So let's say word. Let's say print. We get 6. Do you get the idea? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now do you get the idea? So the first thing, when we say word, for example, at index 0, what's going on? What's going on is going to give me P, because what we say, hey Python, give me the character that having index 0, it will give me P. So let's try. Doesn't have anything, so let's say print word. I think let's say print 0. So what we get is P. Do you get the idea? It's really simple. Here example will give you, or will make it simple for you. So we have word, we have variable, and we have on the variable this data. So what we get is character in position 0. so it will give you or return or p, so let's say let's try another example with another number, for example 5, character in position 5 or indexed in index, so it's the same. So what we get is n. So let's check together. 0 1 2 3 4 5. So what we get is this number or this character. So do you get the example, the idea? So it's really important. Let's try another examples to make it simple for you. So we have word, or let's say data, and let's say for example data, let's say for example hello. So print, for example data, for example 0, print data, for example data 1. So let's get started. So what we get is the first time we get h, the first character at in index 0, and the second thing e, so in index 1, so 0 1. So what we get is this. It's really important and it's really simple. So let's try for example to get another thing, for example data. Let's just check this, not this. So so do you know, so let's say print data, for example at index 2. So what we get is the, so it's really important. This is the first thing. So we talk about what is index, and how to use it. This is the first thing. So index is really important and you're gonna need it, on intermediate level we go and work with projects. So if you want to access to a particular item, what do you gonna do is doing index. So index, that concept that we want use it to get or access to our data or a particular pieces of a data. So thank you so much for watching this video. See you another episode. Hello guys, how are you doing? Today's episode we are going to talk about string, or talk about a string. So we still with string in Python. So this is episode we're going to talk about very important things on a string, and index it, and slicing, and how to use it. So we're going to talk about different things in this video. So this is video going to be very and extremely important. So get a cup of tea or coffee, and bring your notes, and get started with this. Of course you need to focus because this is episode is really important. So let's do it. So so the first thing what we're gonna talk about in today's episode, so that's thing, or index is very important. We said that the first character having index 0, and we see different things actually. Also we said take a little bit example about len function and print, for example, len function. So len function is a function that we use it to get or the number or the length of any data type that we working with. So let's say data, and let's check. So we have 5. So it's very important. So for example, let's talk about indexing, but today's episode we are going to take a little bit examples about indexing. In the second thing, we're going to jump to the next part of this video, which is slicing in Python. So what is slicing, and many more questions that we're going talking about in the next part. So the first thing, let's say for example, if we want to print, and let's say data, for example data data 5. So let's see what we get. String index out of range. So what does this mean? Let's give you this. But we have 5. Why I can't access to the last item? Actually, because this is you know, in the real life, what's going on in Python, we don't have 1 2 3 4 5. We don't have this range in Python. What we have is 0 1 1 2 3 4. You know, so this is what does that mean. So what we have is this is the first thing. The second thing, we get error if we try to access to the position 5, because it's out of range. So let's say try 4 and get the last character in the data. So what we get is O. It's really important. So now you get interested what's going on. So let's talk about another thing, which is we're going to talk about also I don't know what's going on, but I think let's see the first thing. Let's remove this, or let's keep it with this, and yes. So the next thing what we're gonna talking about is this is the indexed. So let's talk about this is thing. For example, if we said minus 1, what we get? We get A, because E is in index in position 1. Yes, let's try. No, what we get is O. Why? Because the negative numbers means that we can't count from the right, you know, not from the left. From the left, we go use natural numbers without not negative numbers, you know. So let's try, for example, to get. So what we get in this case is O. Let's try, for example, 2. So what we get in this case is L. Let's try. So what we get is L. Let's try, for example, to get 0 1 2 3 4. So let's say 4. So what we get is O. Yes, you are really smart. So this is the first thing. Maybe someone who asked me, if I said minus 0, what we gonna get in this situation? Let's try H, which is this, you know. So this is the first thing, and then what we get is h. So it's really important. Also here in this symbol, negative indices start from -1, so is the same as 0. In addition to indexing, slicing also supported. Why indexing is used to obtain individual characters, slicing allows you to obtain substring. Indexing, we get individual characters. We get just only one character. But slicing, we can get slicing allows you to obtain substrings. What does that mean? For example, we have word, which is a variable that contain Python this. Let's try to do this. For example, if we have let's say, for example, let's say if we want to get h. I'm sorry about my cat. So yes, the first thing, if we want to get slicing allows you to get substring or multiple characters or set of characters, you know. So let's say if we want to get h and this and this, what we're gonna say 0 2 0 1 2 0 2. There's a note 2 3. So what we get is HEL or hello. Let's say if we want to get, for example, from 1 to get, for example, this. So 1 or 2 3 4. So what we get now is EL. So it's really simple. Let's say, for example, if we want to get, for example, from 0 or from index this 0 this to this 1 2 0 to this, so we will get is L. So this is I think we have no problem with this. Also there's another thing which is character from the beginning to a position to excluded. So the default value is from 0. So let's say, for example, let's 0 1 2. So what we get is this. You know. And the second thing, we have character from position 2 included to 5 excluded. So from 0 or from 2 to 5. So 2 from 2 this to 5. What we get is this. It's THON. Let's try together. If we want to, for example, to get from 2, which is this, or 2 or 1 to this, for example, to get this to 5. So what we get is this. For example, if you want to get H to this, so what we get 4, for example, to 0. So what we get is this, you know. And let's say if we put this, just this, all the data. Do you get the idea? So for example, this is the first, so this is enough. I think after this video going to be the last video. So thank you so much for watching this video.